Good morning. I have so much joy to be with you again. I have to confess that for several years I wondered if I would have the privilege to come back to see you. Because when I sent my passport to the U.S. Embassy to be renewed, that passport spent 18 months at the embassy. I wonder how many pages that passport has. Then when they sent the passport back to me, they said, I have to come in person at the embassy. And I could not find an appointment. Every time, I even put the passport, somebody, that's what they do, and to see if I can find the appointment. They did not. But last December, out of the blue, I received a phone call and telling me that my appointment is February 1st. I was happy. And when I got there, they asked me a few questions and I answered, and they said, sir, you can go back to the U.S. now. And here I am. Let me tell you, I heard people who badmouth United States, even Americans. You make a big mistake. This is the grandest nation on earth. Now, I have to tell you too, if you are not careful, you will lose your grandeur. Because no nation can survive without God. The reason my country is in a mess, that's still in a mess, it's because when you started as a country, when you need to take decision, your leaders went to prayers. And mine, they went to Satan. They did voodoo ritual. When your symbol is an eagle, when they were doing a big sacrifice as a nation, they sacrificed a pig to the voodoo gods. And we are still in a mess, trying to get out of that situation. Now we are progressing. We are progressing as a nation because more and more people are surrendering their lives to Jesus Christ. But what I have observed during the last 6 years, I've been coming to the U.S., the nation is decreasing their commitment to Christ. This is a fat, big mistake. You need to reverse that. But to reverse that, you cannot continue to be cowards. Did I say cowards? And my friend, do you know that I'm serious? Christians give away too much. It's about time for American Christians to stand up for their faith, whether that means beaten or jail. Now, I have to confess, there was a time I was afraid of going to jail. Do you hear I said there was a time? I am not anymore. I am not anymore. In fact, I came close twice to go to jail because of Jesus Christ. And it's fine with me. Now, I'm not going to give my head away, you know. There was a time I had to run, and I did run, and I beat them. But if they caught me, I would be going to jail. My friend, it is serious business to keep the nation a Christian nation. We need to do that. Now, this is not the message. Yeah, you know that. I bring you greetings from Living Water Christian Mission. all the 4 churches, all the 5 schools, the health clinic, the university, the vocational school, and every one of the more than 2,000 students send you their greetings. And everyone, more than 2,000 church members, send you their greetings. And they use my mouth to say to you, thank you. Now, when my friend and professor that I really admire, Brother Stacy, told me about 24 years ago, I'm leaving the school. And inside of me, I said, what? And he tried to make me understand that it's the best decision, it's God's decision. And I said to myself, God didn't ask me my approval. But he said to me, I will have you visit. He did. I fell in love with you, you fell in love with me, and there was not a single day, literally, there was not a single day that there is not a touch of Spring Hill in my house or at Living Water. Not a single day. Because that's how you impact us and you stick with us. I want to thank all of you who purposefully pray for us. I am begging you and asking you to continue to pray because your prayers work. It's your prayers that keep me alive or any member of my family alive. It's your prayers that keep making the enemy miss us. Sometimes they miss us by that much, but it's missing anyway. So please continue to pray for us. I want you to know, and those of you who went to Sunday school with me, and you know that God is doing a marvelous job in Haiti. Now, the country is a mess, and many times they try to get me, but they always lose, because God never loses, always wins. So, my friend, today, I come to you with the challenge of asking you, will your name be in the list of those who are spreading the word? Will they find your name? Now, if you do not make the choice to spread the word starting here, it is bad news. Do you know that United States of America need missionary too? Do you know you need missionaries? And do you know every one of you who are here should choose today to be a missionary to your nation? You need to choose today to be a missionary in your own home if there are members in your family who are not a Christian yet. You need to be a missionary for your neighborhood if there are members in your neighborhood who are not Christian yet. You need to be a missionary to your co-workers if in your co-workers there are those who don't know Christ yet. You need to be a missionary to your classmates if among your classmates there are people who do not know Christ yet. It's a big necessity. My title this morning is Gain Again and Again. Gain again and again. Because when you choose to be a missionary, it's a gain. And that gain is non-stop. It's a gain again and again. Let's turn the Bible from Luke chapter 10 I will read only 3 verses, 1 to 3. Luke chapter 10, verses 1 to 3. After this, the Lord appointed 72 others and sent them 2 by 2 ahead of him to every town and place where he was about to go. He told them, "The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Ask the Lord of the harvest, therefore, to send out workers in his harvest field. Go, I am sending you out like lambs among wolves." Go, I am sending you out like lambs among wolves. We live in a world of artificial intelligence. You know that, right? So everywhere you go to the airport, when you are coming out, it used to be a person talking to you, sending you the ticket and tell you, "Have a good day." Now it's a machine. They are replacing people with machines. Car companies want to use robots instead of people in the assembly line to put cars together. And I read an article where they said this is the best thing to do because you would not need lights. Robots can work in the dark. They said that you would not need AC. Robots will not get sweat nor get cold. And they even said that you would not have people asking for break or raise. So they are thinking of replacing people with machines. I even read that there are proofreading companies. They don't use people, they use machines. Security jobs, robots. Telemarketers almost everywhere now, they don't use people, it's a machine talking to you. Packaging. They don't use people most places. They use robots. There are just many more things that they are replacing people with machines. However, there are a few things that you cannot use machines or robots to do them, and one of them is evangelizing. You need people to do that. You know why? The robots cannot give testimony to tell you how Jesus saves them. You need somebody with skin and blood. The robots cannot tell you how Jesus washed away their sins. You need somebody like me, like you, to do that. The robots cannot give powerful testimony of the works of God. So, my friend, God will not use robots. He will use you. He will use me. And I pray that your names will be in the list of those who decide today to pray for people who do not know Christ yet, and to talk to people who do not know Christ yet. Oh, preacher, what if they think that I'm trying to impose my religion on them? Guess what? If you do not kindly and lovingly share Christ with them, your kids and your grandkids will get to practice their religion because they are not afraid about it. They are not bashful about it. They are teaching your little kids in 2nd grade, 3rd grade that they are not a boy, they are a girl, they are not a girl, they are a boy. They are not hiding to do that. Okay? The time will come that they will have the sword in your throat to say, Allah is God. My friend, let me tell you, we need to stand up for Jesus, or else we will be sorry when it's too late, okay? God doesn't on any other being. God count on human being, people who have been transformed by him, people who have been object of his grace, to share with other people about his grace. In chapter 9, one guy, at the end of chapter 9, one guy showed up and said to Jesus, I want to follow you. Jesus knew he wants to follow him because he saw the crowd. He thinks there is money. He thinks there is power. And Jesus said to him, well, foxes have holes, birds in the air have nests, but I, the Son of Man, has no place to lay my head. The guy said, oops, I won't follow you then. He did not follow Christ because he wanted to be in it for what he can get from it. And when Jesus called the second guy, he said, you follow me? He said, well, Lord, yes, I will follow you. But let me go first to bury my daddy. But his daddy is not dead yet. If his daddy was already dead, he would not be following Jesus. He would make sure that his daddy will get buried first. The old man may spend few months, few years before he died. So, and Jesus is in hurry. He's in hurry to have people, to find people, to preach the lost. He cannot wait for a guy who is respecting social niceties. The third guy said, well, Lord, I will follow you myself, but hey, I'm not waiting for my daddy to die to follow you. I'm just going to say bye-bye to my family. Jesus said, nope. If you put your hand in the plow, you can't look back. If you look back, you will make the roads crooked, and you will make me miss some good place I could plant my grain. I have no time for that. All three guys missed the opportunity to follow Jesus, to be a preacher for Christ. Will you miss this opportunity today? What excuse will you bring to Jesus not to be someone who is vocal about your faith today? What excuse you will say to Jesus, well, God, you know the society today, people don't talk about religion to other people. Will you say that? Or will say, Lord, you know, I would do it, but now I don't work anymore. I am retired. If I were not retired, yes, I would be able to do that. You know I would do it if I were not retired. What about your neighbors? What about your grandkids? What about the people you meet in Walmart? I see you talk in the parking lot with people. So, my friend, there is no excuse today. All of us here, we need to commit our lives to share our faith because Jesus needs you. You remember the question is, will your name be in the list of those who choose to evangelize the world for Jesus? Our text has led us to make a few conclusions about evangelism. The first conclusion is evangelism is a team business. Evangelism is a team business. You see, Jesus in our text called 70. He didn't send them one by one. You remember that? How did he send them? You can respond, okay? It's a Haitian preacher. 2 by 2, okay? He sent them 2 by 2. Evangelism is a team business. Mission is a team business. You cannot be in ministry and be a lone ranger and win. It's impossible. The advantage you can give to Satan is to be in ministry, wants to win people for Christ, and be a lone ranger. You have nobody to pray with. You have nobody to cry on his shoulder. You have nobody to call at 1, 2 in the morning to say, I need an advice from you. If you do not have that, Satan will tear you apart into pieces in a short time. My friend, I want you to know I thank and praise my God for every one of my teammates. Because there are days when I wake up, I don't have time to spend 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours in prayer because I get a phone call that wakes me up to go to do something. And at that minute, I am rushing, and it's the minute I need more prayers. But God can say, Jeremy, wake up to pray for Salonique, okay? And Jeremy said, what? And he prayed. What I cannot do, he does, because it's a teamwork. I will be very stressful because I am short of having the money for salaries for the month. And God will say, oops, Mr., I won't give name for a reason. You sent $5,000 to Salonique. He needs it. Lord, $5,000? That's a lot of money. Well, I say so. And he sent it. It's a teamwork. So, my friend, I want you to know we need to work as a team against Satan, the enemy, so that more people can come to Christ, okay? Jesus count on you to do it. Jesus count on me. Evangelism is a team business. Second, evangelism is a fruitful business. I know many of you who are here this morning have involved in the past in business. And many of you who are here are involving now in business. And many of you are looking where there is a business where I can invest, where I will get big dividend. That's mission. Mission is a fruitful business. Because when you invest in mission, God gives you back big payoff. Now, some of these payoff are not green, are not paper. You know what I'm talking about. You know that? They don't have 1, 2, 0 after that. But some of the benefits are the protection of your grandkids, the protection of your family, the protection of your health, the protection of your job. The person who was causing you much pain in the job, you come back in the morning and you heard that, well, that person doesn't work here anymore. And you said, oh, I'm sorry. In your mouth, you said, I'm sorry. And in your heart, you say, hallelujah. So when you are in mission, there is not a lack of fruit. You know why? Because the more you preach, the more people come to Christ. The more you teach, the more people are rooted. The roots are getting deeper into Christ. And the more you are kind, the more compassion you show to people, the softer they become to accept Christ. Because some of us do not come to Christ in the first message. No. Some of us, it takes years, even decades. But every little action you do, that make that person closer to the cross. And when that person decide to take Jesus, they take him for good. So my friend, please invest yourself in mission. Because when you are in mission, it is again and again and again. You only gaining. You are gaining here for now, and you are gaining in eternity with Christ. So please invest yourself in mission because evangelism is a fruitful business. Do you know that there are 8 billion people on earth? In those 8 billion, only 600 millions are evangelical Christian. Only 600 million. And 1.3 to 1.4 billion are Catholics. So the other 6 billion don't know anything about Christ. You see? We have a big job. And that's why Jesus said, the harvest is plentiful, but the harvesters are few. So I want you, every one of you who are here today, to choose to be one of the harvesters. My friend, Jesus said, pray. The owner of the field to send workers in his field. Every time I read that, I said, Jesus, I don't like the way you do it. And he said, I'm not asking you advice, sir. The fields belong to whom? To God. And he wants me to pray him to send workers? Why not he just send it? He wants to know the love he had for you if you have that same love for the lost. He wants to know what is burning him if it's burning you. So it's a guarantee if you pray, he will answer. So he just say you to pray for the Lord to send more workers into his field. My friend, we need to pray. Let me tell you one of the things that I learned from Brother Stacy. And it works, I can guarantee you. When Brother Stacy sees a little boy, he stops and talks to him. And he will put in his ear something like, you will make a fantastic preacher. You know what that does to a 6-year-old boy to hear that and to keep hearing that? And one of those days will make the choice to become what? A preacher. There were some of my classmates went to Central. They didn't go to Central to become a preacher. But you know what? They are preaching now. Yeah. They thought they were going to take a year of Bible college so that their grandma, their mother, to quit bugging them. And they meet with Mr. Stacy, who invites you to El Maguey. That's a Mexican restaurant. And on the way, he's planting seeds, investing, telling you you will make a fantastic preacher. And sometimes you know that cannot be true. But he tells it to you so much you come to believe it, and guess what? You become a preacher. My friend, please, invest. Invest. Pray the Lord of the harvest to send more harvesters. I can name you several guys who are preaching at this hour who are preaching because of him. And who are doing a great job too. So, my friend, please invest in people so that they can become members of the kingdom for the harvest. My friend, the people God wants us to harvest, they are Muslim. They want to hear about Jesus. They are voodoo people. They need to hear about Jesus. They are atheists. They are all over. They need to hear about Jesus. They are agnostics. They are all over. They need to hear about Jesus. There are people whom you sit at the same table to lunch every day, and you have never, ever talked to them about Jesus. You need to do that today. They need to hear about Jesus. Do you know that there are 56 million people who die every year? 56 million. Now, we don't know how many of the 56 million will go to heaven, but I guarantee you it's not a lot. We need to do something so that more and more of those people, when they die, they go to Jesus and not to Satan. And to do that, we need to do a better job. We need to do a better job. Now, number 3, conclusion. And there is no clock in this building. It's a good thing. Keep it up. Third, evangelism is a risky business. Evangelism is a risky business. Now, I want to be honest with you. I didn't like when Jesus said, go. I send you out like lambs among wolves. Bad idea. Lambs, they are sweet. You just eat them easily. But that's what Jesus wants. He wants us to be harmless. He wants us to be inoffensive. He wants us to be in such a way that we are totally depend on him. The lamb cannot survive without the shepherd. He wants us to have that mindset. There was no way we'll make it out without him. We should be lambs and not wolves. We need to depend on him for our safety. We need to depend on him for the provision. We need to depend on him on everything. Whenever you and I are in the position to take a decision, let the first person to go to is God. On our knees in prayers. Now, I know it's not normal to see people in church here on their knees. But let me tell you, it's a great practice to be on your knees in front of Jesus and telling him what you come to him for. It's a great practice, great spiritual practice to be on your knees talking to God. So, my friend, please, 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 be on your knees every time you need to talk with Jesus. He sent you like lambs in the midst of wolves, and that's what you are lambs. But let me tell you, I can guarantee you, as a lamb who is protected by the good shepherd, nothing can happen to you because the good shepherd is always on duty. He never sleeps. He never dozes off. His big eyes are always on you. I am a lamb. But let me tell you, I can't tell you how many times they are plotting literally to kill me. But the big eyes of my shepherd are on me, and they always fail. I don't know if I told you this, but there was a big meeting in a restaurant, and the meeting was about me. And they were evaluating all the things that they have done to kill me, and they keep missing me. And one of them pounded the table and said, "Who is this Salonique? We cannot shut him down." And he was so mad. He said it so loud that a guy on the table not too far heard it. And he was very shaky inside. And those guys are top dogs in their city. And when he came to me, he told me this, and he said, "Preacher, you have to leave town now." I said, "Bruno, I'm not leaving. If there is somebody to leave town now, it's them. I didn't know that they hire people to poison me. I didn't know they hired people to shoot me. I didn't know they ambushed me. But God protect me through all of this. If there is somebody who needs to be on the run, it's them, not me. Guess what? One of them died. Another one of them, the big dog, is still on the run. One night, he had to be in a wedding. And guess who was officiating the wedding? It was me. So, and I knew him full well. He wanted to get rid of me. And after the wedding, when I am left, he is right. When I am right, he is left. Finally, I said, I'm going to cut to the crowd. And I cut to the crowd in the middle. I said, good evening, sir. He said, good evening, preacher. Brothers, he said mission is a risky business. You will be persecuted, yes. You will be mistreated, yes. You can be beaten, yes. You can be jailed, yes. But Jesus has the last word. You remember? They arrested Jesus. They beat him. They crucified him. They did not have the last word. The third day, he was raised from the dead. You remember? They beat Paul over and over again, but he always made it through till God decided it's time for him to go. Mission is a risky business, but do not worry about your life because Jesus is taking care of you. My friend, mission is a team business. Don't do it on your own. Make sure you have people with you. Mission is a fruitful business. The more you invest yourself, the more you will gain. Because it's gain, again, and again. And mission is a risky business for sure. But you do not have to worry because the God you are serving is the all-powerful God. Will your name be in the list of those who are sharing your faith from today on? And I hope, deeply hope, the answer is yes. And if you want to make a commitment for other people to know, please come forward. But I want you to know, evangelism is a fruitful business. God bless you.